You know what really grinds my gears?
I do, Peter. Goddamn Netflix. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are engaging in the art of going on a tangent, or commonly said, ranting. The war on anime pirating and consumption we know has been a long battle for companies. There have been many times over the years that we have seen sites go down, and though we honor the fallen, there is always something new rising in those ashes. It's hard to police anything on the internet, which I'm sure is obvious, but let us be reminded why we pirate in the first place. It's self-explanatory that if we can save a dime, then we will. Nobody likes spending money already, and nobody especially wants to spend money on media if not only on movies. If we can watch something for free, then we will, and from that standpoint, I can obviously understand why these anime distributors hate it. It's simply a negative from a business perspective, but then again, we also arrive at the issue of catalog. As much anime comes out all year long, it's not all in one place. For instance, at the current time of this video, you cannot watch City the Animation or New Penny and Stocking on Crunchyroll, but you can find them on Amazon Prime. The same can be said for those exclusively airing on Netflix or HIDIVE. This can end up becoming pretty annoying because not everybody wants to have numerous subscriptions, which can push people to just find it elsewhere altogether. Everything comes down to a case-by-case basis depending on the person and their own views, sure, but if there is one thing anime fans do care about in general, outside of when something is being released, it is how. What makes an anime season, outside of the abundance and variety of shows, is the weekly conversational momentum. Almost every day, there is something different to talk about, and that's what makes a season so memorable. It leads to those days where you just have to be there for, but when you trample upon that momentum, oh buddy, we got beef. Netflix and Disney Plus jail isn't something new. The community and creators alike have mentioned this before because there is a tendency for every other anime that goes to either of these platforms to die there. This can be for multiple reasons, from marketing to region lock, and we've seen it over time from Summertime rendering to Girls Band Cry on Disney Plus, and now Netflix is once again swinging the disappointment bat. Anybody who's been around on this channel long enough knows that The Fragrant Flower Blooms with Dignity is one of the series I was looking forward to the most this year when it came to its anime adaptation. I've made 2 cozy videos on the series and have continuously talked about the manga on social media. Even in my watch list video, I declared it to be a must-watch of the season and painted a giant red arrow for people to look out towards Netflix for the weekly watch. So you can imagine my absolute surprise when I saw that the USA release for the series will not simply be delayed, but pushed back all the way to the end of the summer season, practically on the heels of the fall. This is the shit I'm talking about right here. They had one job, and that's to air one of the most anticipated adaptations of the year correctly, and they still couldn't do it right. This instance is arguably one of the worst yet, and we've had some pretty annoying situations over the past few years. Let's turn back the clock and look at Kimi ni Todoke. For a lot of people, if it's not Fruits Basket, this is the shoujo for them. I binged the entire thing back in the beginning of 2024, and it was one of my favorite binges I had in a long time. When the return got announced, people were losing their minds. They couldn't believe that a series that hadn't had a peep of news for years would finally come back after being MIA for so long. Yet, what did we get? Because I'll tell you, it wasn't a weekly experience. Oh no. Instead, we got a batch drop of all the episodes at once, absolutely slaughtering the weekly conversation and killing off the traction. Which is unfortunate because this latest season arguably had some of the best content yet, especially giving so much love to Chizu and Ryu. That episode of their childhood origin got me, but gun to the back of my head, if you told me to find somebody to talk about it with, I'm dying. How about we go back a little bit more to Stone Ocean? Listen, when JoJo's gets an anime adaptation, I swear it's like the anime community freezes for a day and focuses on nothing but that. I'm not even a crazy JoJo's fan, but damn do I gotta respect the amount of love this series gets. Yet I cannot imagine how it felt being a hardcore JoJo's fan during the Stone Ocean release with not only a batch drop, but then it was multiple batch drops as the series needed to be split up in order to tell the story completely. Nobody was mad that Stone Ocean needed to be split up, that alone makes sense given the length of the story, but again, the batch drop kills the momentum. Any type of community cohesion died off in a week at most, which is an absolute shame because you could feel the excitement, but discussion won't carry itself for weeks on end if it can all be had at once. I know some of you out there are probably thinking thinking, what about Dungeon Meshi or the Apothecary Diaries, even Arcane or Cyberpunk? Yes, I know those ended up having a good rollout all things considered, but by acknowledging that there are some good situations, we then arrive at the problem of focusing on the bigger picture, and that's consistency. Consistency matters the most at the end of the day, and the distribution of anime has never been thought of to be that way. As much as we could just wait till the fall, nobody in their right mind is going to do that. We are forced to rely on pirating, which is unfair to Saka Mikami because I'm pretty sure the initial perception is that we could support the official release. It took me forever to find episode 1, and I cannot imagine the pace miraculously picking up when it's already a hassle. Again, I know we could wait, but folks are hungry, man. The floodgates are open. You'd think the blue box circumstances were annoying, but this honestly just takes the cake. To make it worse, it's not like we should expect the series to gain a surge in anticipation again later on in the year. When creators began making their fall watchlist guides, they're not going to go back and remind everyone that the series will be out in the USA around the fall. Instead, they're going to be looking at what the present lineup is, and My Hero Academia's final season is already going to gather most of the attention at that. During the summer season, we typically get the rest of the fall announcements as well, which is going to add on even more overshadowing. Trust me when I say that I understand that nothing can be done, and this is merely the reality of the situation, but it does not make it any less frustrating to live through such a disappointing result. I understand that certain deals are involved, and even if Mikami gave the okay for everything, Netflix should know better than to lock off a certain section of the world in the big 2025 till later in the year. Just the other day, it was reported that 50% of worldwide users watch anime on the platform, pushing 150 million households with viewership tripling in the last 5 years. The proof is clear as day that they know anime fans are locked into the platform now more than ever, and yet when we arrive at situations like this, it just feels so insulting. Can't forget the moment where we even had major leaks of shows before they even aired. Waking up to the Dandadan OP right there out in the world was crazy work. Can you imagine if we were to arrive in the timeline where Kagurabachi is acquired by Netflix and they pull this same thing again? You're talking insane outrage. As much as we can hope for Crunchyroll, we also gotta look out from them using AI translations that make it into the actual episodes, and this is why people pirate. I understand a service may not be perfect, and I understand that we have different approaches for the sake of data collection, but situations like this are just so damaging, not only to the viewer's experience, but to the overall reception of a series that you just don't want to pretend like it's okay. To my Fragrant Flower fans out there, I'm feeling your pain, and despite it all, I hope everyone is able to find it and enjoy these 12 weeks. That said, I'm done for the day, and as always, thanks for watching. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below, and in the meantime, I'm gonna go order a new pirate hat. Stay safe out there, and till we meet again in the next video.